In 2017, a 29-year-old pizza delivery driver in Ohio put $5,000 into Bitcoin. His co-workers laughed at him. His mom told him to put it in a savings account. His friends said he was throwing money away. 2 years later, he quietly paid off his student loans, put a down payment on a house, and retired from delivering pizzas before turning 32. He didn't invent anything. He didn't have a rich family. He didn't get lucky with a startup. He just understood one thing that most people in America will never figure out. And by the end of this video, you will too. Because what happens inside a Bitcoin cycle changes everything. Here's what most people believe about Bitcoin. They think it's gambling. They think it's a scam. They think the people who made money just got lucky. Right place, right time. And honestly, that belief feels completely reasonable. Because every few years, Bitcoin goes through something violent. It crashes 70, 80, even 90%. People panic. The news calls it dead. Reddit fills up with memes about how it's finally over. And then, something strange happens. It comes back, bigger than before. Not once, not twice. Every single time. 2013, 2017, 2021. And now, a new cycle is building right underneath most people's feet, and they have no idea it's happening. The question is, why does this keep happening? Why does Bitcoin print new millionaires every cycle, like clockwork? And more importantly, who doesn't make money, and why? That's the part nobody talks about. Let me introduce you to two people. Call them Jake and Marcus. Same age, same city, same income. Around $55,000 a year. In 2020, they both heard about Bitcoin for the first time. Jake thought about it for 6 months. Watched YouTube videos. Read articles. Got scared by the volatility. Eventually decided it was too risky and put his extra money into nothing. Just let it sit in his checking account. Marcus? He didn't wait. He didn't try to predict the perfect moment. He set up automatic purchases, $200 a month. Every month, no matter what the price was. He called it his future fund. He barely even looked at it. By November 2021, Bitcoin hit an all-time high of $69,000. Marcus's $200 a month habit had turned into something that shocked even him. Jake, he was watching from the sidelines. And when Bitcoin dropped back down in 2022, he felt relief, like he'd dodged a bullet. But here's what Jake didn't understand. He hadn't dodged anything. He'd just missed the bus. The reason most people miss Bitcoin cycles isn't a lack of information. It's psychology. Your brain is wired to avoid pain. And in the world of money, that wiring is brutally expensive. There's something called loss aversion. Psychologists discovered that losing $100 feels about twice as painful as gaining $100 feels good. So when people see Bitcoin drop 30%, even if they're up 200% overall, their brain screams, "Get out." And they listen. Then there's social proof. Humans are tribal animals. We don't want to be the weird one. If everyone you know thinks Bitcoin is a scam, your brain flags it as dangerous, even if the math says otherwise. And then there's the sneakiest trap of all, recency bias. When Bitcoin is crashing, your brain convinces you it will crash forever. When it's surging, your brain convinces you it'll go up forever. Neither is true. But your brain doesn't care about charts. It cares about right now. This is why the same cycle keeps creating new millionaires and new heartbreak stories every 4 years. The millionaires? They understand the pattern. They control their psychology. The heartbreak stories? They let their emotions drive. And emotions will always buy high and sell low. But here's where it gets really interesting. Because the reason these cycles even exist has almost nothing to do with hype. Here's the thing, almost nobody explains. Bitcoin has a built-in event called the halving. Every 4 years, the amount of new Bitcoin entering the market gets cut in half, automatically. It's written into the code. It can't be changed. It can't be voted away. It just happens. Think of it like this. Imagine there's a gold mine that produces 1,000 ounces of gold per month. Now suddenly, by law, it can only produce 500 ounces. Then 250. Then 125. But demand? Demand keeps growing. More people. More institutions. More countries. More interest every cycle. Basic economics says, when supply shrinks and demand grows, prices rise. This isn't a theory. It has happened after every single halving in Bitcoin's history. 2012, 2016, 2020. Each time, within 12 to 18 months of the halving, Bitcoin hit a new all-time high. And here's the part that blows people's minds. The people who quietly accumulated before the halving, during the boring nobody cares phase, they're the ones who show up in the headlines later as overnight success stories. They weren't overnight successes. They were just early and patient, while everyone else was distracted. The pizza delivery driver from Ohio? He bought in during the boring phase. He didn't sell during the dip. He let the cycle do its thing. And the cycle rewarded him. So what do you actually do with this? Lesson 1. Understand the cycle before you enter it. Bitcoin moves in roughly 4-year waves tied to the halving. Zoom out on any chart. You'll see it. Bull run. Crash. Accumulation. Bull run again. Knowing this doesn't predict the future, but it reframes what a crash means. It's not the end. It's the reset before the next wave. Lesson 2. Dollar cost average. Stop trying to time the market. Marcus didn't get rich because he bought at the perfect price. He got rich because he bought consistently. $50 a week beats $5,000 once at the wrong moment. Automate it. Forget it. Let time do the heavy lifting. Lesson 3. Only invest what you can emotionally survive losing. This is non-negotiable. If you put in money, you need rent, bills, emergency fund. You will panic sell at the worst moment. Your emotions will guarantee a loss. Bitcoin rewards conviction. Desperation always loses. Lesson 4. Understand what you own. Most people who lose money in crypto don't understand what they're holding. Bitcoin is different from other crypto. Fixed supply. Decentralized. 15 years of history. It's not a stock. It's not currency. It's a new asset class with its own rules. Learn those rules or pay for not knowing them. Lesson 5. The boring phase is the wealth building phase. When nobody's talking about Bitcoin, when your friends aren't texting you about it, when it's not on the news, that's the window. The loud phase is usually the expensive phase. The quiet phase is where fortunes are built silently. Every cycle, Bitcoin creates a new wave of people who quietly change their financial lives. And every cycle, the majority watches from the sidelines, waiting for certainty that will never come, waiting for permission from people who are just as lost as they are. The pizza delivery driver didn't have a finance degree. He didn't have connections. He didn't have a trust fund. He just understood one thing most people never accept. Wealth isn't built in the moments everyone's watching. It's built in the moments everyone's looking away. The next cycle is already moving. The question isn't whether it will happen. The question is whether you'll be on the right side of it this time.